March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 disappeared during a routine trip from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. The Boeing 777 carried 239 passengers and crew, and the flight began like any other. Weather conditions were calm, communication was clear, and nothing suggested the tragedy that was about to unfold. In today's world, where satellites track almost every movement on Earth, the idea that a massive aircraft could vanish seems impossible. Yet MH370 did exactly that. No distress call, no emergency signal, no clear warning signs. To understand how this could happen, we must follow the events step by step. This documentary examines the flight's timeline, the plane's sudden disappearance, the complex international search, the shocking satellite findings, and the theories that continue to divide experts and investigators. This is the full story of MH370, one of the greatest aviation mysteries ever recorded. MH370 took off at 12:41 a.m. local time. The aircraft climbed smoothly and reached cruising altitude without any issues. The captain and first officer were highly experienced, and the plane was considered one of the safest in global aviation. The flight was progressing exactly as expected. At 1:07 a.m., MH370 sent its final ACARS transmission, a routine automated message reporting normal system conditions. Minutes later, air traffic control prepared for the typical handoff from Malaysian airspace to Vietnamese controllers. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary at this point. At 1:19 a.m. came the last confirmed words from the cockpit. "Good night, Malaysian 370. These words were calm and normal, no sign of stress or trouble. But only seconds later, the aircraft's transponder was manually switched off. MH370 vanished from civilian radar instantly. Almost immediately after the transponder shut down, MH370 made a sudden turn back across the Malaysian peninsula. This turn was sharp, deliberate, and required manual control. The aircraft then changed altitude and speed while heading west. Someone was controlling the plane during this phase. Military radar tracked the aircraft crossing over Penang Island before heading toward the Andaman Sea. The plane flew for nearly an hour in this direction. Its path was smooth and purposeful, further confirming that this was not a systems failure, but a controlled deviation from the planned route. At 2:22 a.m., MH370 disappeared from military radar coverage entirely. Under normal circumstances, this would indicate a crash. But MH370 was far from done. New data would soon reveal that the flight continued for hours after radar contact was lost. Inmarsat satellites detected hourly handshakes from MH370 systems, automated digital pings showing the aircraft was still operating. These signals were not distress calls, they were routine attempts by the aircraft to connect to the satellite network. The pings continued for nearly 7 more hours. By analyzing the timing and frequency of these satellite pings, investigators discovered 2 possible flight paths called arcs. One arc led north towards Central Asia, while the other led south into the Indian Ocean. Because no countries detected the plane heading north, experts focused on the southern arc. This southern arc stretched across one of the most remote oceans on Earth. It indicated that the plane likely continued flying on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. The final handshake occurred at 8:19 a.m., suggesting this was the moment MH370 made its final descent. The southern Indian Ocean is vast, deep, and unforgiving. It contains underwater mountains, trenches, and unpredictable currents. Searching this region for a missing aircraft is among the most challenging tasks imaginable. Yet international teams launched one of the largest searches in aviation history. Ships and aircraft scanned tens of thousands of square miles. Specialized underwater vehicles mapped the seafloor with sonar in areas previously uncharted. Despite immense effort and advanced technology, the search struggled to locate any trace of the missing aircraft in the primary zone. As months passed, search crews expanded the region, considering alternative scenarios such as a controlled glide or a spiraling descent. New models were tested, drift analyses were performed, and experts used sophisticated simulations to predict where wreckage might be found. After years of searching, debris from MH370 began washing ashore. The first significant discovery was a flaperon found on Réunion Island in 2015. This piece was confirmed to be from MH370, proving the aircraft ended somewhere in the Indian Ocean. More debris appeared on coastlines in Madagascar, Mozambique, Tanzania, and other parts of Africa. Some pieces were interior cabin items, while others belonged to the wings or control surfaces. Although these fragments confirmed parts of the story, they revealed little about the exact crash site. The condition of the debris suggested a combination of factors. Some parts indicated a low-energy impact, possibly hinting at a controlled descent. Others showed heavy fragmentation. Without the main fuselage or black boxes, the final moments remained shrouded in mystery. One theory proposes that MH370 experienced a sudden mechanical failure, such as rapid decompression or an onboard fire. In such events, the crew could become incapacitated, leaving the plane on autopilot until fuel exhaustion. But this theory does not explain the deliberate course changes. A cockpit fire caused by lithium batteries or electrical faults has also been suggested. Such a fire might disable communications and force the pilots to turn back. However, even in major fires, pilots typically send distress signals, and MH370 never did. Depressurization is another possibility. If the cabin lost pressure slowly, both crew and passengers could become unconscious without realizing it. But again, this fails to explain the precise turns captured by radar and the disabling of flight communication systems. Another theory suggests deliberate pilot involvement. Investigators found a flight simulator program at the captain's home containing a route similar to the Southern Arc. Though not definitive evidence, it raised questions about whether the route deviation was intentional. Supporters of this theory argue that the turn-back altitude changes and disabled systems point to human action. Critics counter that the captain showed no signs of distress or instability, and that simulator data alone cannot prove intent. Hijacking was considered, but no terrorist group claimed responsibility. There were no ransom demands, no suspicious passengers, and no messages sent from the cockpit. Without communication or a motive, this theory remains weak. One controversial theory suggests MH370 was accidentally shot down after veering into restricted airspace. Proponents argue that governments may have concealed evidence to prevent political fallout. However, no radar or military data supports this claim. Another idea proposes a catastrophic systems failure, combining electrical malfunction and crew incapacitation. This could explain the loss of communication, but does not clarify the controlled turns or the sustained flight for hours afterwards. Some analysts believe MH370 may have glided beyond expected areas during its final moments. If a pilot was still conscious, even briefly, the aircraft could have traveled farther than initial models predicted, complicating the search zone. Based on satellite data and flight performance modeling, investigators believe MH370 continued on autopilot for most of its final 7 hours. As fuel ran low, the right engine likely flamed out first, causing the aircraft to turn slightly left due to aerodynamic imbalance. Minutes later, the left engine would flame out as well, leaving the plane without thrust. In this state, the autopilot disengages and the aircraft begins to descend. Whether this descent was controlled or chaotic remains a key question. Some models show the aircraft entering a spiraling dive, while others indicate a shallow glide lasting several minutes. Without the black boxes or main wreckage, the final moments of MH370 remain open to interpretation. The lack of a definitive crash site has left investigators, families, and aviation experts without closure. Each piece of debris answered one question but raised many others. The Indian Ocean continues to guard its secrets, leaving the world with uncertainty. For the families of the 239 people on board, the absence of answers is devastating. Many have spent years searching for clarity, hoping that new technology or discoveries will reveal the truth. The emotional toll has been immeasurable. MH370 is more than just an aviation mystery. It is a reminder of the limits of modern technology and the vastness of our planet. Despite satellites, radar, and global surveillance, there are still places where a giant aircraft can vanish without explanation. Perhaps future advancements will uncover the final resting place of MH370 and explain what truly happened on that flight. Until then, MH370 remains a haunting symbol of unanswered questions, human vulnerability, and the enduring search for truth. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more deep dive investigations into real unsolved mysteries, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Thank you for watching.